Hello, friends. Welcome back, or if you're new here, welcome. I have a lot jam-packed into this video, so let's just jump into it. You may see that we have these huge random lights on our nightstands without lampshades. I am in the process of redoing our bedroom, and I got these lights for hardly nothing at a yard sale, but the lampshades were terrible. So I need to buy new ones. I'm also not 100% sure on these lamps either. I don't know. So I started this room makeover, and honestly, I wanted to go with a bold color, but I got kind of scared that it would be too overwhelming, so we just painted it a neutral color. And even this morning, I was going back and forth with myself, thinking that I still wanted to go bold. So I don't know. We'll see. I like the color that we have on the walls, but it's just not exactly what I was hoping for. I wanted to go with like a darker green or maybe even a mauvish purple type of color. I'm really into the moody style colors, and I was just afraid of going so drastic. Anyway, so short story long, I've been dragging my feet with this makeover because I keep going back and forth with colors basically. And when I saw these lamps, I knew that they were a color I was wanting, so I just got them. I'm not sure. We'll still have to see. Oh, so if you saw me putting the beach towels in a garbage bag, they're not garbage. We are starting to close our pool for the season. So I've been gathering all of our beach towels and I put them in a bag. And then I'm just going to put them in a storage tote downstairs until next year, which honestly, some need to be just tossed in the garbage, but I'm not really sure what the kids do to them. And they're looking kind of rough, but that will be a problem for next year. Is anyone else excited to close their pool for the season? Fall is my favorite season, but since being a pool owner, I always get excited to close the pool down in the fall, mostly for financial and like upkeep reasons though. We swim a lot during the summer, and by the time August rolls around and school starts, we don't really swim nearly as often. And it drives me crazy to continue to pour money and to continue to maintain it when it's barely getting used. Because, man, they are so expensive to maintain and it's so time consuming too. So by the time the end of August hits, I'm usually just itching to get it closed. So I had a friend suggest that it would be kind of fun to do a get to know me portion for one of my videos. And I figured since I have a bunch of laundry to always do, I would go ahead and answer some of the questions that she wrote down. Anyway, so I'll just do a couple of them, go over a couple things while I do laundry. Anyway, so one of the first questions is where are you from? So I'm originally from Northern California. Um, but my family moved to northern Chicago for most of my life. That's where I lived. And then now my family is living in northern Arkansas. So apparently we like the northern part of the states. Anyway, but we're living in northern Arkansas in the Ozark Mountain region. So it's very hilly up here. It's really pretty. What are your hobbies? I'm a mom, so I don't have many. But let's see. I like to read. I've gotten into reading probably within the last couple of years. So that's kind of what I guess my hobbies are, liking to read. How long have you been married? So our anniversary is actually tomorrow, the 18th. And we've been married 14 years. It's kind of wild. But 14 years, and we've been together 16 years. So basically, my whole life has been with him. How do you celebrate your birthday? I don't. My birthday is July 1st, and my daughter's birthday is July 2nd, and it's obviously the same week as 4th of July. So I've kind of just not celebrated for a while. I mean, we do things like we'll have cake and open gifts, but that's kind of it. We usually will save the celebrating for when we're all together with family on 4th of July or for my daughter's birthday. So I don't really celebrate mine. Are you a clean or a messy person? I'm pretty clean, which is funny because when I was a kid, we were not. My parents did not, they both worked full time out of the house, and they didn't do a very good job showing us how to be clean and keep things neat and tidy. So I feel like that's one thing I had to learn as an adult was how to clean and keep things tidy. And I feel like a lot of times I'm still learning. I watch a lot of other people on YouTube and they give me ideas, but I think everybody pretty much does that. But anyway, I am overall pretty neat of a person now that I'm older. Are you done having kids? I get that question a lot from people. Yes. So we have 4 children. Our oldest is 14, and then our youngest just turned 5. We did have a 5th child, and he died earlier this year. And sorry, I'm gonna try not to get emotional. Because of that, I mean, at that point, I was really done at 5 anyway. But going through like such a traumatic experience with all that, I could never do it again. I had a traumatic labor, and then hospital stay, and it was traumatic after because he was very ill, and having to deal with that, and then him passing away. So I could never do that again. So yeah, we are done having children. Let's see. Do you prefer scary movies or happy endings? Goodness, I don't know. So, I used to be a huge scary movie person. Like I grew up on them. I don't know if that, no, that wasn't just like my generation because Kyle never did that. So, or maybe he was the odd one out. I don't know. But I used to love scary movies, and that's like all I would watch. I didn't really care for happy endings ever. And then I became an adult, and now I just have so much anxiety that I don't really watch things. I just watch the same stuff over and over, or they're like my, my safe shows or safe movies. But I watch like my husband's shows, like sports and fishing, stuff like that. So I don't really know. Probably if I had to choose between the two, I, I think I would choose scary movie only because I never really cared for happy ending movies. I don't know. Okay, let's move on. Um, she put this, a funny way you've gotten hurt lately. It wasn't really funny, but if you've seen my other videos, I think I've mentioned that I hurt my foot. It swelled up. So I've never seen anything like that. And the nurses and stuff that I talked to also said they had not. We were working downstairs trying to work on, I think, our fireplace. We were wanting to add a faux fireplace to our master bedroom. And so we were down in the garage working on stuff, and the boys were outside. Our youngest boys were outside, like riding bikes and stuff. And when they put them away, they did not actually put them away. And I ended up kind of tripping over one. And then in the process of that, I knocked the leaf blower onto my foot. And it was a very light leaf blower. So it's a little shocking how much damage there was. But yeah, it fell on my foot, and immediately swelled up. Like within 30 seconds, I had a spot on the top of my foot that was the size of a softball. And there was no bruise or anything immediately. The next day I woke up with a bruise. But yeah, it swelled up really bad. And it was horrific looking. Like, I did not post any pictures of that because I was like, oh my gosh, I would need a trigger warning. But anyway, I didn't end up breaking it. I just hit a vessel. And so there was not a ton of pain that was involved in it, thankfully. But it's been really, really bruised, like really, really bad, for the last week and a half. I think it was a week and a half ago. So wasn't funny, but that was the most recent time that I've hurt myself. What did you eat for breakfast? Scrambled eggs with pico de gallo on top, which is my normal. You'll see it in a lot of videos. I'm trying to lose weight. I had lost a bunch of weight before. I'm kind of like, I feel like yo-yoing. And then I got, pregnant with our fifth, and I lost a bunch of weight after. I think just being in the process of like taking care of a sick child and just being really busy with doctor's appointments and hospital stays, everything like that, I just stopped taking care of myself. And then he passed away, and I really wasn't taking care of myself, and you're kind of like in a survival mode. And so it's not that I'm coming out of it, but I'm obviously doing a lot better now, months later. So I'm at the point where I'm trying to get back to taking care of myself. And so I'm trying to eat healthier and just do a lot better portion wise and stuff. And I'm starting to become more stricter with that recently. So my breakfast is kind of boring. It's about the same thing every day, which is scrambled eggs and pico de gallo on top. Your best first date. Okay, so that's an easy one because I've only really had, I was so young. Like, I met Kyle when I was like a baby. I was 18 years old when we started dating. So he's really the only actual first date, I feel like, outside of high school. But and we kind of go back and forth about this because he does not remember our first date. And it's not really, again, we were so young, so it's not really that like I fully remember, but the first one that I remember is McDonald's. And I'm sure it was like off the dollar menu. But we go back and forth about that because he's like, how could I have done that? There's no way. And I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I mean, like I said, we were babies. He's not going to be able to afford something wild. So I'm pretty sure my first date, like, and it wasn't even a date. It was just like a hangout when you're that age. So I think it was McDonald's and probably on the dollar menu. Why homeschool? I get this one a lot too. We homeschool our 4 kids. And at first, it was because our youngest was sick and we could not chance him getting small colds or really anything like that because he was already so ill. And so for his safety, and also because that whole schedule, trying to figure out who would take our kids during hospital stays, because he was constantly always put in the hospital. So, and then he had multiple surgeries and stuff like that. So finding people to work around their school schedule and just stuff like that was difficult. And so we thought at the time that it would be easiest if we just had everybody at home. And So we did that, and then it worked out because when he passed, we ended up taking some time off just to kind of be together as a family. And so they didn't have to worry about going to school or, me being able to get out of bed in the morning to bring them to school. So that was something we kind of chose out of necessity at the time. But since then, we're in a new school year, and we asked them, at the beginning of the school year, what they wanted to do. And all of them were very adamant about wanting to continue at home. So that's what we're doing. We have our oldest two are, they're doing like a new online curriculum. Last year we did work like in books and stuff. And so it's a lot nicer because I don't have as much, like there's still a lot to do, but I don't have as much, I feel like, on my plate. So it's working out for us. But yeah, we did ask them, and that's something they wanted to continue. And that's what we're doing. What's something weird that you do? And this will probably be my last one because I'm at the end of my basket. But something weird that I do. Oh, so my parents live about 40 minutes from us. And so we go over there not too often, but, for holidays or, get-togethers, whatever, at least once a month. So I like going over there. Everybody has those gifts that you're gifted from other people, like a grandma or something like that, and they're just weird. I don't know how else to put that. Like they're just not your thing, which is fine, and I don't think you should really hang on to those. But I think it's funny to put those gifts at my mom's house. So I like hiding things around my mom and dad's house for them to find. One year, so for Christmas, we host Christmas every year, and we do, I think it's like called Dirty Santa, where you get a number and then you get a gift and then you can steal other people's gifts and stuff like that. Anyway, so one gift that Kyle ended up getting was a macaroni and cheese candle, and it smelled so gross. And so that was one thing that we brought to my mom's house, and we lit in her bathroom, so then it smelled just horrible in her bathroom. But yeah, I like getting weird gifts. Trying to think of some other ones that we did. And now it's like kind of become a thing with me and my stepdad, where he now hides things in my house for me to find, except he gets those little like jars of hot sauce from, I think he's getting them from Walmart. And he puts them all over my house. But it's funny because I am really just so anal about things that I know really quickly when he's hid things. So anyway, that's something that me and basically just my stepdad do. We go to each other's houses and hide things, hide weird things too. It's not even like normal stuff, but just like, the weird gifts that you're like, why was this given to me? But those gifts we give to each other, and it's kind of been our thing, and it's, I don't know, something we both enjoy. Anyway, so I'm done doing laundry, so I'm going to put this all away, and we'll chat later. I've moved on to making lunch, and I'm going to start off by saying I do not usually do lunch from scratch. No, we homeschool and do lunch right in the middle of our schoolwork, so I usually try to keep it pretty simple. We do a lot of leftovers usually, but we had some leftover mashed potatoes, and one of the things that my kids really miss having from up north is pierogies. We used to have them regularly when we lived up by Chicago. There was a lot of Polish delis, and those types of foods were pretty much everywhere. We have not been able to find them anywhere here, and they're one of my daughter's favorite foods. So, about 2 years ago, I did some research and learned how to make them myself. And if you've ever made these, you know how tedious they are. So, I don't really make them that often. Anyway, these are just filled with potatoes, butter, sour cream, and cheese. My kids like them with bacon too, but I'm just keeping them simple today. After you roll out the dough thin and fill each one, you'll pinch the sides together to seal, and that's what I did with the fork. Then I drop them in a pot of boiling water. When they come to the top and float, you can pull them out. I dry them slightly on a towel, and then I saute them in butter and onions just until they start to brown on each side. Then I serve them with a simple cucumber salad for lunch. My kids go nuts for these things. They kept coming into the kitchen while I was making them and checking on my progress. So I made a huge batch and there was hardly enough. If you're new here, which most of you are because I'm very new to YouTube, but we moved into our house about 3 years ago, and it's not really an old house, but it is outdated. So my husband and I have been slowly working on making it our own over the last few years. We did a ton of major updates at first. And then we kind of took a long break the last year or so because of our youngest son. After he passed away, we started doing projects again pretty soon after. It helped keep our minds busy, and it was something that we needed to move our lives forward. So now we are back to doing projects again on our house. And one of the projects we keep talking about is an island in the kitchen instead of this table. We also plan on redoing the countertops, so we've talked about adding an island and having the countertops match. My kids usually eat breakfast and lunch at this table, so if we add an island, I definitely want like there to still be stools for them. But the table is super old. It was built for our friend's grandparents. So I've also thrown around the idea of maybe keeping the tabletop for the top of the island and having the island painted instead of matching the rest of the kitchen. But I don't know. What do you think? If you have any suggestions, I am all ears and I would love to hear them. Speaking of home updates, we started working on our front deck, like balcony area, about a year and a half ago. I'm not sure who had it built before we moved in, but it was terrible. Oh my God, the railing was like half the height that it is now, and there were nails sticking out everywhere, and it was super wobbly. I'm not sure how anyone thought that that was okay, but it was super unsafe. But anyway, about a year and a half ago, we tore it out and added a new rail up here and added extra braces underneath, but we still have to finish the floor. So that is another project that we eventually will have to do. And I should have panned over to show you our view from the front. We are high enough up that you can see the hills and the mountains over the trees for miles. It's one of my favorite parts about the house, so I guess I'll have to include that in another video. We had a bunch of rain here last week, so all of our windows were dirty. And honestly, this is a task that is something that I just put off a lot because I don't know if it's just my kids or the general population of children, but my kids cannot stop touching them. My boys like to shoot their like Nerf guns at them, like they're targets or something, and they pretty much put their entire two hands on the sliding doors to open them. Plus, our dog Ted paces around to various windows and doors and rubs his nose on them or drools on them. So I feel like at this point it's basically a lost cause, and I'm just not going to have clean windows until my kids are all grown, and that's okay. This was later in the day. I'm starting to get dinner going, and my 5-year-old Theo came in while I was taking the shells off of these shrimp and asked if he could help me. So I'll show you in a minute him helping me with the bang bang shrimp for dinner. But he is so funny and he's known for saying the darndest things. He's kind of my shadow and he enjoys being my helper, so I often let him try to help me. This was last night and he's told multiple people today that he's a chef now. So he's so proud of himself and it's the cutest thing. Are you going to do a scoop of flour in here?
Just one.
I think for now, yeah. I'm going to put the rice in. It's okay, it can be like that.
How much?
Yep, put it in there. Now you need to do a couple of scoops in here of flour.
I like getting flour. Do you know sometimes I was really wanting to put flour in. Flour is pretty soft.
Yeah, okay.
A bit of it.
Like half of the jar.
The half of it.
Nope, a little more.
That. I think half of it.
Okay. Okay.
Oh my God. Then oh my God, because we have this, and when I smell it, it makes me sneeze it out.
What is that?
I don't know.
You don't know what that is?
No.
It's chili.
Chili? But when I smell it, I sneeze chili out.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and put some of that in there.
Wait, this is chili?
Mm-hmm. Is it not coming out?
Yeah.
Okay. Oop. That's okay. Okay, now we need garlic and salt and pepper.
Is this garlic?
Yep, that's garlic. Can you carefully sprinkle some on, or you want me to get you a spoon?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I
Okay.
can't
I know.
grab it.
Yeah, it's tricky.
So wait, do you have wooden lids?
They're corks. Okay, here's a spoon.
Okay.
Maybe even. Can you get it?
Yeah. Take it out of, like, to make a full, like the spoon full.
No, just sprinkle some in. It's okay.
You know a better way to do it like this?
Okay, that's probably enough, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now, here, can you do pepper?
Yeah. Do I just...
Oh, hold it upside down and you're gonna twist this.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, that's no pepper.
Okay. What about salt?
Okay.
Do a pinch of salt.
Mm.
A bigger pinch.
Mm.
Yep, that's good. Good job.
Okay, what's gonna do it?
Yeah.
I'm cooking with Mom.
Yeah.
I said, what are you guys making?
We are making bang bang
And there's
shrimp
shrimp
rolls.
in the sink.
I'm gonna do this one because it's kind of tricky. Okay, and then the last one, Cajun. You wanna do that?
Yeah. I just poured it.
You have to be careful.
No, that one, when I smell it, it makes me sneeze it out.
Oh.
Can I do it with the spoon?
Yes.
Was it that? Was it this stuff? Plus, what is this stuff even?
Seasoning.
No, season. Wait, I do know it's seasoning that looks like this because we always put seasoning that looks like this on chicken, right?
Yeah.
That's why it's always like red. Sometimes I'm Blippi, he bakes.
Oh.
He bakes some stuff. Okay, put enough of this. One more. Okay, put enough of this in.
Okay, now gently stir it up.
Okay, with the fork.
Or the spoon, either one.
Okay, I'll just use the spoon. Dad, I'm cooking with Mom. Yeah.
Do you want to try to crack that?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Do you want me to show you?
Yeah. Do that egg.
Okay. So you hit it there, so it has a crack, and then you put your fingers in and separate it and pull it apart. sure you do it over the bowl. Oh. That's okay. Pull it apart. There we go. And we only got one shell. Okay, go wash your hands again.
The eggs are all gone.
They're mixed up. I'm sure you noticed that he used a lot of seasoning, but I just kind of let him do his thing and it all turned out great in the end.
So is this how you make shrimp?
This is how we're making this kind of shrimp.
Because there's him.
Do you still want to do it or do you want me to do it?
I still want to do it.
Okay.
So you're going to have a video of me doing this?
Yeah. People will see that you're a chef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I am.
You are.
Yeah.
I'm just making the sauce to drizzle over the top of these shrimp bowls, and then I'm going to assemble them for dinner. But that's all for today. If you've made it this far, please like and subscribe. I'm new, so it really helps out my channel. And don't forget to introduce yourself in the comments below. I'm looking forward to chatting with you. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you next time. Bye.